These boys are members of the Gray family at Fort Worth. On a day like today, there are no visible signs of that constant in their lives, sickle cell anemia. Mrs. Gray, who carries a sickle cell trait, first learned of the disease in 1965.
And it was started school for the summer. That was before going to public school.
Oh.
Well, the school nurse, she was there during the summer. They have these summer programs. And she noticed he was going to sleep every day, and he still does. So she called me and told me that when school started, if he was going there, to get in touch with him, and she'd see if she could, find out what was wrong with him. So we moved different section of town. We got in touch with the school nurse, and she recommended the kids going to Carter's. Upon going to Carter's, we discovered that they were sicklers.
Tests at the Carter Blood Center revealed that 3 of the 5 children had sickle cell disease. In sickle cell anemia, an abnormal hemoglobin causes the round red cells to assume an elongated sickled shape. These cells clog small blood vessels, preventing oxygen from reaching body tissues. This brings on the severe pain of sickle cell crises.
I just don't know how to describe it. You just have to see, one of them going through the crisis, because they can go to bed at night and feel fine and get up the next morning. And Vincent, his stomach, it starts in his stomach. He starts throwing up. You have this pain. Of course, it goes, the pain just kind of goes through the body, up and down, maybe through the arm, the leg, but it usually, when it goes up the body and it comes, you can tell when they're going to be over the crisis, because it comes down in the lower part of their body.
When the patient arrives at the center in a painful crisis, one can observe the child writhing and assuming these grotesque positions and complaining. And the decision is made at that time that an injection of Thorazine be administered. And we have discovered that in about 80% of these cases that one injection will clear the crisis. I'm just convinced that observing the crises over a period of years, that the onset being so sudden and the severity being so great, that the only thing in the human body that could be accomplished in such a combination of events would be the blood vessels.
Sometimes it doesn't last but maybe a day. Sometimes 2, but like I said, with Rudy, he have gone as long as 3 weeks.
Through mass screening programs, those individuals who carry the trait, unlike Mrs. Gray, will be informed of their genetic makeup. The sickle cell test is demonstrated by mixing the patient's red cells with a chemical. Clumping cells, such as those in the test tube on the right, are highly suspicious, while a clear sample is considered negative.
I think the screening is wonderful, because people go to the doctor, and if the doctor's not looking for this, it never shows up. So I think this is great.
Through genetic counseling, we learn it is not advisable for 2 sickle cell carriers to mate. However, it is left to the patient to determine his own course of action.
They know, and I think going up to Carter's, they have gotten counseling there, and what we read and see on television, I think they understand that in their adult years, as they grow up, that they will have to, I'd say, make a decision, about their future.